Hey guys, welcome back to this week's video. It's not the grand reveal of the little renovation that I'm doing, but it is just a little recipe on how to make your own deodorant. And it's just a one stick recipe, which is really nice. It's 2.5 ounces, but you can either have a larger one as well. I mean, I think this is a standard size, but yeah, if it was a bit larger, you just twist it up and it works the same. And this is actually a reused container that I have been using for the last year, so that's good. Less plastic in the landfill is good. And so someone just recently sent me a message on one of my old deodorant recipe asking if you could use, instead of coconut oil, can you use sunflower oil, an alternative oil. So yes, you can. The recipe, I've modified it a little bit, just tinkering around with the beeswax to oil ratio. And because it is a little bit warmer now, I've used a little bit more beeswax in this recipe, not only because, you know, coconut oil is a bit more firm at room temperature versus sunflower oil is liquid, so I had to adjust for that as well, but we'll get into the video right now. So for this recipe, I'm using a 2.5 ounce container of deodorant, which has been used. I've just scraped it out. You could also use hot and soapy water to clean that, but let it dry completely. So for the main oil, I'm using sunflower oil, and I'm using a 1/4 cup of sunflower oil. You could also use grapeseed oil, avocado oil, olive oil if you want to. And here I'm using beeswax, and it's just the pellets, but you can use grated, and I'm using 3 tablespoons of beeswax. And then I'm going to be adding the beeswax and the oil to a hot bath, which is just a pot with hot water. And you put it on the stove top, let it boil, and then it melts that. And once that's all melted, you will be adding your dry ingredients. And so here I'm just wiping off any residual water on the outside. You don't want that getting into the mixture because water and oil is a breeding ground for bacteria. So here I'm using arrowroot powder. And I'm using 1 tablespoon plus a teaspoon, which is 20 mils, and then zinc oxide. So I'm using zinc oxide at 1 teaspoon. And for zinc oxide, you just have to be careful that you don't inhale zinc. It's not good for your lungs. And then for the last thing in here, I'm using baking soda, and I'm using 2 teaspoons of baking soda. You could also use a little bit less. You can use a little bit more. It just depends on where your pits are at. And right now, you know what, you can use a spoon, but preferably a whisk. And after that, I'm going to be adding the essential oil. So I'm using 30 drops for 2.5 ounces. You could add more if you want, you could add less. For my scent preference, I'm using 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of tea tree, and 10 drops of eucalyptus. But you could use a variety of whatever you really like. So whatever you like to smell like, use that. And then after that, you're just gonna leave it on the counter with the lid off to harden for a few hours. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It is a very easy recipe. It makes a quantity of 1, which is nice, so you don't have to have so much deodorant. But yeah, lots of odor fighting ingredients in this one. And some people find baking soda can be a little bit more sensitive under their armpits. That could just be from your sensitivity or maybe a bit of a detoxing. Yeah, I've had someone comment in my last deodorant video saying that they really enjoyed the recipe and it really works, but they had 3 days of like a bit of an irritation under their pits, and then it went away. So yeah, if you're gonna try this recipe, try the 2 teaspoons of baking soda. My last one, I think I did a tablespoon. I'm not too sure. But I modified it to 2 teaspoons. It's just 1 teaspoon left. 1 teaspoon less. And then I added, instead of half a teaspoon of zinc, I added 1 teaspoon of zinc because, you know, zinc is really good for antimicrobial properties. And baking soda helps eliminate odor. The arrowroot cornstarch, you could use either one of those because they're the same properties, and that helps to sort of wick away a little bit of the moisture. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed the recipe, and I will be doing more DIY videos. And right now I'm just doing a house renovation, so stay tuned to that. I will be doing, I believe I'm just going to try to get that video done this week. And then, yeah, I'll show you guys the grand reveal. And I'm sitting on my little rolling ottoman right now, which is really fun. It worked out really cool. And I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.